Welcome into the CHGO White Sox Podcast, coming to you live from Studio B. We are very sorry to Luis Roberts Butt Cheeks, who says, "Where are we at, gentlemen? The Blackhawks are very greedy. They needed 2 cameras because Nick Foligno was on the show."
His beautiful face needed to be on camera and isolated, so they stole ours.
That's Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at @Ectorwall23. I am Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. We're being produced today by Sarah.
Hello.
Hello. And then later on in the show, Vinnie Duber will join us. He just talked to Max Stassi, and he's talking currently to Pedro Grifol. So we will hear from Vinnie after that. You can check out Vinnie's latest article at allchgo.com, where he talks about the White Sox 0.0% playoff chances. I got some things to talk to him about with that. Because we heard from Chris Getz, and Chris Getz was like, that doesn't matter. And then now we're hearing from the clubhouse that it matters. So what's the deal? I don't know.
I think it matters more to the clubhouse than Chris Getz. Much more, because they're playing the games.
We'll see. I thought that him being a player, he'd know. He'd know that motivation. Because Pedro Grifol said, if it doesn't motivate you, get on out. Get out of here.
Hey, bye, Chris. He already fired Chris Getz. Grand opening, grand closing.
Who I want to get on. Who I would love if they got on a point. If you know who I would love if they got out of town.
Who?
Andrew Benintendi. We do have some video from Andrew Benintendi. Andrew talked about his stinky 2023. Feel free to take a drink of that delicious line in Kugel. We're going to hear from Andrew Benintendi on his stinky 2023 and how he's bulked up, looking buffer, and he's ready to go deep. AJ in our Discord, our diehard Discord chat, is saying that he's going to hit 30 home runs. We'll see. I think
like 5 years.
Yeah,
total.
I think Allie followed it up and said maybe 15 to 20, and he said I said if he hits 7, I'll throw a party. I will have the biggest party.
Didn't he hit 7 last year?
No,
or like 5.
No,
he hit something that was
4.
That's it.
He hit something. He hit 4. Nope, he got to 5.
Yeah,
he got to 5.
Don't be downplaying my man's power. 5 home runs with an almost broken hand. He's like playing with no hand.
That's the funniest thing. I tweeted this out today, and Cody Bellinger just mashed against left-handers. He's obviously hit right-handers before, but he just put up a 164 weighted runs created plus against lefties. Yep. It's February, and he's not signed.
No.
The Cubs are going out and signing Dom Smith and David Peralta instead of signing Cody Bellinger. The White Sox ran, drove as fast as they could. You know those idiots that speed by you on the highways thinking that life is GTA? Like, that was Rick Hahn driving to Andrew Benintendi's house, I'm assuming in Arkansas, to give him that $75 million. Let's hear from Andrew Benintendi, and then we'll hear from Vinnie, who's going to be joining us later. But Andrew Benintendi addressed 2023 and how he hopes that it's going to turn around.
Yeah, obviously last year didn't go as planned, but just turn the page and focus on this year and get better each day. And I think, a lot of us have been here for a few days now, and just getting to know everybody, a lot of new faces, so starting to build that chemistry.
It seems to be the message that Pedro's giving you guys, turn the page, let's really wipe out what happened last year. Is that as easy as it is to just say, or does it take some time to really try to move on past a tough year for you guys? Yeah,
I think just ask any baseball player, you have to have a short memory. If you don't, it'll eat at you for a long time. So I think a lot of us are looking to kind of redeem ourselves and get back out there and prove people wrong.
Living up to a long-term contract, almost every guy that we've seen come through Chicago has had trouble that first year. Maybe you think it has nothing to do with it, but is there that extra pressure of just saying, hey, the expectations are high and I have to do more than I'm really capable of?
No, I don't think for me at all. I think in the end, if say I don't play well and we win, that's all that matters. And when you win, no one really questions anything about personal stuff. But for me, obviously last year wasn't the best year. Dealt with some things throughout the year that may have hindered some things. But feeling good now, looking forward to getting back out there and then winning baseball games.
You said something at the Boys and Girls Club that was interesting. That is that people should concentrate on that clubhouse, but just look at yourself and see what you were all about. And you said you did that last year. Is that good advice for everybody going forward to just concentrate on your game and be a good teammate?
Yeah, I think everybody, in the end has a role in what they do, whether it's in the lineup or on defense. And, when you try to do too much, not saying that anybody did last year, but just in general, you tend to press and you tend to, it seems that you don't play as well. So just focus on what your goal is and what you can do to help the team win. And, hopefully everybody pulls the rope a little bit on their end. So it's, show up, do your job, and win baseball games.
We were talking to Luis yesterday, and he's thinking that he has even another year. He said he can go into it what he did last year. You've seen him. You played against him a number of years. What was it like playing next to him for, the course of the season?
No, it's fun to watch. He's extremely talented. I think that he's still learning a lot, which is scary because, obviously the year he had last year, he's definitely one of the top players in the game, one of the best center fielders by far. And, to play next to him, it's definitely fun. He covers a lot of ground out there, so it makes my job a little bit easier.
You played on a world championship team. What does it take as far as everybody pulling on the same line, and what do you think you can bring to that element when it's the right time to do it?
I think, obviously in the end, it's, like I said, just doing what you can do to help the team, not trying to do too much, not trying to, do more than you're capable of. I think, on that team in 18, everybody knew their job and executed it. And, obviously I think chemistry goes a long way with it. And I think we got a lot of new guys in here that bring in that mentality and that experience too. So I think that'll help a lot. And, just try to get better as a team.
You already had Gold Glovers, you and Luis, but you look now at the middle of the infield, the catching position. How much better is the defensive outlook of this team?
I think that's definitely been an emphasis coming into this year. Especially in big league games, and you give a team an extra out, it seems always cash in. So adding guys like that is definitely big, and I think will help us.
You talked a lot at the end of last year about trying to get stronger this offseason. What kind of results are you seeing from that work?
I definitely feel good. Add a little bit of weight. I think this was one of my best off seasons as far as working out and getting stronger. So we'll see how it translates. Hopefully it does. So time will tell.
You mentioned going on through some observations last year. What was it like to strong and then you come into this camp really helping?
No, it's big. Obviously those little nagging injuries, they seem small at the time, but they just linger for a while, and you just got to play through it. And obviously, that the results probably won't be the same, but just being out there and grinding through things and just showing up and being in the lineup, I think goes a long way. Mentally for a player, and then also the guys around you. So that was my focus. But yeah, I definitely feel better this year, and looking forward to getting out there.
Herb, I thought you made a really great point while we were watching that video, that when Vinny asked him a question that he was looking up a lot to Vinnie Duber.
We all look up to Vinnie Duber, so I understand how that goes, Andrew Benintendi. But yeah, it was like Vinny was like on a step stool or something. He was like looking up to the sky to Vinny. Goodness gracious, he's not that short. Andrew Benintendi's not that short. Or Vinny's like 6'2". That's not that big. He was like looking straight up the ceilings. Like, goddamn, Vinny grew up in Arizona.
Maybe he had
all
his
that
shoes
hiking.
Maybe he had his shoes off.
Yeah, all that hiking is good too. Good for everybody.
Gold Glover Andrew Benintendi is excited to
All-star too.
Bounce back defensively. I don't mean to be so crude, but even when he won his Gold Glove, he had a range of -1, an arm value of -1, and his arm strength was graded in the 44th percentile. That's just below average. In every single facet of his defensive game, he was below average, and the people at Rawlings don't know how to vote for the actual award.
So you're saying he had a Derek Jeter Gold Glove season?
Yes.
Okay.
And he had one of them, and I don't know why, because it wasn't like the Royals of 2021 were the Yankees of the 1990s.
Maybe they're just like, okay, left fielder for the Royals, kind of good. And they just forgot, like, oh, Alex Gordon's not there anymore. Andrew Benintendi sounds right. Forget it. Give it to him.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, there was that one throw that he was in a Royal uniform trying to throw somebody out from left field on the White Sox and just couldn't get it to the plate.
It was like a ground ball. Oof. It was tough. But, hey, I hope he regains some of that form because that form even was better than what last year was.
What form?
The form you're talking about where he's got the 44 percentile arm range and the range wasn't that great. So get back to that year, and then we'll be cooking with gas, probably.
Yeah, I mean, hey, his range went from -1 in 2021 to -11 in 2023. His arm value is now a -4 instead of a -1, and his arm strength is at 83.4, and instead of 44 percentile, it's 35 percentile. But he got juiced. He's loaded to the gills. I mean, this man is just lifting weight after weight, protein shake after protein shake. 7 homers. You said it's easy.
It should be for any left fielder, any corner outfielder. 10 home runs should be like the bottom, the absolute bottom. I don't care who you are. I don't care if your hand was hurting all the goddamn year. That's inexcusable. The year he had last year, he knows it. That's why he's coming in and saying, "Hey, I had an injury that hampered me. This year will be different." As the state of Missouri says, "Show me."
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. That's a good maybe just slogan for the entire White Sox team.
Show me.
Just show me. Yeah, from 2017, this is on pulled balls from Andrew Benintendi. 2017, the average distance 189. 2018, 129. 2019, 141. We're going to skip the COVID season because he only saw 230 pitches. But in 2019, it was 141. 2021, 146. 2022, 129. 2023, 115. It's going in the wrong direction, folks. So, hey, maybe he bounces back, and I hope so. He is on the list of the 70 people that I'm excited to watch in camp. I have ranked it. I've put it in order, and he's not 70. He's not even 69.
Okay, then
he's not even 69.
Wow, respect. Look at this respect that you got for Andrew Benintendi all of a sudden. What happened?
He's 68. So he's not that high. He's just not that low. But my guy, Andrew Benintendi.
All jokes aside, we're all wanting for Andrew Benintendi to be the actual $75 million guy that the White Sox paid for, but it's seeming like that guy maybe never coming. As you've seen, Sean has been pointing out, like the numbers have been declining and not been getting better. I mean, he is still technically in his prime, so he can come back. And if his injury last year was what was hampering him, fine. I wish that he would hit the 10 home runs. I'm going to bet Sean again. I lost my $100 I lost to him last year betting that Andrew Benintendi would get to the 10 home run plateau or over. He didn't come close. He got to 5. So I'm rooting for the guy not only because he's a White Sox, but because I need him to justify that money, because then Jerry, who's still going to be the owner in 20 years from now, needs to think about, I gave money to this guy and he failed. And he's going to be like, if I give a big money contract to this guy, he'll fail too, just like Adam Dunn, just like Adam LaRoche, just like Andrew Benintendi. So I need him to live up to that contract and say, okay, we can start giving real money to real players instead of average players who perform below average.
Hey, I just don't get it because it's not like they're not usually taking $75 million shots. I just don't understand what made this guy the guy. As I've hopefully expressed over the past 3 years or 2 years. It's felt like forever. Melissa saying if everyone has a bounce back season, we could be 500. That's sad, man. I don't know about that. If everyone bounces back, if Andrew Benintendi is a 120 OPS plus, if Dylan Cease is on the team for the entire year and is second in Cy Young, if Eric Fetty maybe isn't Korean Cy Young, but hey, maybe an average third starter. Yeah. Chris Flexen's all right. If Michael Soroka bounces back and he's top 10 in Cy Young, Aloy's hitting 40 homers. I mean, they could win 90 games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like if everyone bounces back, they can win 90 plus games. It's just not everyone's going to.
Out of the 1,000 times that Pacoda went through their thing, their highest ranking for the White Sox was like 86 wins, right?
Yeah.
So I can see them doing that if all those things come to fruition. Yeah, like you get MVP Luis, Aloy hitting the ball out of the field, Moncada's hitting the ball from both sides of the plate, gloving it, staying healthy, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, last year, what were the predictions for the White Sox to make? They were like 81, 83, 84.
To make the playoffs?
Or how many wins they were supposed to get? Their over-under was like 83, 84?
Well, no, from Pacoda, it was like 76.
Okay. They're still kind of in that same area, sans the starting pitching that they had last year. But if everything goes right with the starting pitcher that they currently have, those guys pitch to the highest levels that they can, like the Fettys, the Flexens, the Michael Kopechs of the world, yeah, they're going to be much better than just 500. That's in my estimation. Because this league is not that good. This division's not that good at all.
Projected for 78 wins last year. I can't find the full 2023 to see their playoff percentages. But, 78 wins.
So, yeah, and I think they're more closer to the 78-win team than the 61-win team that they were actually last year. So that's what I think some of that chemistry things that they were doing were really bad last year. And I think this team currently has rid of themselves of the chemistry things. And if they do all the things that they need to, I think they're closer to like 70 wins than the actual 60 wins they won last year.
And Sarah, Melissa asked, what am I drinking? Not because she's like wondering, oh, what are you drinking? I think she's saying that if everyone bounces back, they can have 90 wins. I think she's saying that I'm drunk and I'm just having water.
I was trying to do a little promo for our new friends.
Well, I mean, it's Herb's job to do that right now.
And I was half paying attention. I was on my laptop for a second.
You're all good. We'll lead in. It's a good segue.
And if you guys are in the comment section, you see our guy Jim Cook. He's our sales guy. And when he told us that our beer sponsor for the year would be Leinenkugel, damn near fell off my seat, because if you know me, I'm a fan of Leinenkugels, especially the summer shandy. There's nothing better than hanging out with your friends at a barbecue or wherever you're going to guaranteed rate field, anywhere you go, and having a Lakeside Cherry or Summer Shandy or a regular Leinenkugel Lager or Leinenkugel Light. Those are some delicious beers, and Leinenkugel has been hooked up with us for this whole year. So I know you're saying, Herb, Summer Shandy is only a seasonal beer. I can only get that during the summer months. I got you. But they, of course, I said they got Lakeside Cherry, which I'm drinking right now with a mix of cherries and deliciousness. It goes by well. Like
does it say that on the can?
It says that Rose Leinenkugel mortgaged her house to save it.
Yeah, but does it say cherry and deliciousness? Or
no, I made up the deliciousness.
Yeah,
it's got rose colored beer as an homage to Rose Leinenkugel.
Oh, you could become a copywriter though. You really sold me on the deliciousness part.
And it's got juicy pear, berry Weiss. If you guys know Leinenkugel, you know the Weisses out there. Berry Weiss, Honey Weiss, which is made from real Wisconsin honey, if you guys didn't know that. So you know it's good. And if you tried any of their beers, you know that Leinenkugel brings the flavor whatever the occasion you are celebrating. For under 3, 2, 1. For over 150 years, Leinenkugel has combined German brewing traditions with Wisconsin innovation. You don't have to pick just one. Leinenkugel's popular variety packs come with 4 varieties for you to try and to enjoy. Flavor is life's simple moment with Leinenkugels. Official craft beer of the CHGO White Sox, our team that we're covering here. Go to Leine.com/CHGO to find delivery options near you. That's LEINIE.com/CHGO. Or just pick up Leinenkugels anywhere you can find beer. Leinenkugels. Flavor the moment. It doesn't say savor the moment. It says flavor the moment. Celebrate responsibly. Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Thank you very much, Herb. And we also want to let you know about our friends over at Empire Today. Herb just took a sip. We'll take 1 second. You let him have a deep breath. 588-2300 Empire Today. With Empire Today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. So, of course, they have copycats, but Empire cannot be beaten on their quality, service, and speed. So competitors advertise low-quality products that Empire simply won't carry. Empire won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does is putting flooring in your home that they wouldn't put in yours. And Empire keeps shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. What do you know about floors, right? Are you working for Empire?
I know nothing about floors.
Right. Are you the layman? Are you an expert in flooring? No, Empire is. Let them curate this selection. Let them tell you what's good. Check out what's good with their virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room. So schedule a free in-home estimate today with the professionals over at Empire. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. Again, all listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code CHGO over at empiretoday.com/CHGO. All right.
Our guy Kevin Malloy. Good to see you again. It has been a minute.
Howdy. And then what's up, Matthew Cortese? How you doing, friend? We got Vinnie to join soon.
Yep.
So, stay tuned. Vinny's going to join us. We're going to talk about the 0.0% projections from Fangraphs because Vinny wrote about that today. You could check that out at allchgo.com. I'm a little perplexed, though.
Okay.
When Chris Getz said that they weren't worried about the projections, but it does seem, again, that they're worried about projections. And, Andrew Benintendi there had a little bit more of a milder take. It's just, it doesn't matter what my numbers are. We're looking for wins. If that was maybe more of the team direction, we're not looking for stats. We're just looking to play games, be healthy, and go out there and play fast and good defense, right? Like, I don't know. It'd be good if the White Sox didn't have an internet connection, right? Nicky Lopez follows me on Twitter. Nicky, I love you. Why?
He just loves our show.
Does he?
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't liked any of the tweets. I think I got that mute real quick, respectfully.
What? That
But I'm
he
just
muted
saying.
you?
Yeah. Hell, why wouldn't you mute me?
Why would he? You got good baseball information. He's following you for a reason. If he didn't want to follow you,
I think he's a nice Naperville guy, and also too, what am I? I'm just tweeting about. I'm just literally bashing his teammate. That's half my timeline. It's just
man,
slandering Andrew Benintendi.
Some of the best people understand that you talking about his team doesn't mean that you're talking about him. He doesn't take it personally. Like if I bash somebody on the Bears, I don't want Bears fans coming to me and taking it personally that I'm bashing somebody on the Bears. And that's what Nicky Lopez is doing. He knows me. I talk about the Royals all the time, and that the fact that the White Sox are being the Royals right now on this 2024 team. And I asked him when he was on the show, like, what is the Royal way that the White Sox are so enamored with? I'm sure he's a fan of your baseball thoughts. He loves the local people. You probably just couldn't show it while he's a Royal or a Brave. Now he's a card-carrying member, maybe an all-CHGO diehard member of our show, and so he wants to show support from me and you. And I don't know if he follows Vinny, but I'm sure he does, as he's talking to him down there in Arizona. No? You're not in agreement with me?
I love you so much.
Why do you not agree
There's
with that?
There's no fucking way that Nicky Lopez is a diehard. We know all the new diehards. Nicky Lopez has not popped up. And also shout out to our new diehards, Clark, James, and Kenny. No Nicky. Mm-hmm. I think that maybe...
do we miss a Nicholas?
No, I don't think so.
He just wants to be incognito. Nicholas Lopez. I'm telling you, the guy answered my DMs pretty quickly, wants to talk to me via the DMs all the time.
You're chatting up with Nicky Lopez?
Every once in a while. I just want to ask him about things, about Major League Baseball and how players feel about certain situations. Damn. And so every once in a while, I'll send him a thing that says, hey, Nicky, sorry to bother you, blah, 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 blah. And like a day later, he'll send me something. He's like, yeah, no, brother, this is it. He's a very, very personable guy. Now, will any of that matter if Nicky Lopez is the Nicky Lopez that was mostly up in Kansas City not hitting? I don't think it will. I think people will be like, great guy, but some bitch can't hit. I'll be like that here, and we'll be fair to Nicky. Even though I like the guy personally, I'll be fair to him. If he's not a good player for the White Sox, I'll be bashing him on these airways, respectfully, of course, because I can't do any of this stuff, of course. And somebody was just asking me out there, they're like, hey, what would be your dream job? I was like, Major League Baseball player. But once the people start throwing curveballs, I was like, that's out. But
so in your dream, you can't hit a curveball?
In my life, I can't hit a curveball.
No, but they said, what's your dream job?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in my
dream job is that you're supposed to have nothing holding you back.
I could not hit a curveball, no.
Boy.
Or a slider, no, hell no. Have you ever seen these things? Like, you see these things where Brian Bannister is setting up the cameras right behind the catcher, and you see the movement on these pitches. You're like, how do people hit nowadays? And I know people are, the Codify thing was posted the other day, Sean, where they were showing the averages throughout the years and how the average now in 2023 and 2024 is lower than it's ever been for a while. And I think that's mostly because people are more selling out for power, because I think last year, 2023, was the fourth largest home run year on the record books. So people are looking more for home runs. So it's more advantageous and pays you more to hit for home runs. But I think that baseball is in a healthy spot right now, but I don't even know what I was talking about before that.
Yeah, I don't know. Power is important.
I think power is just very important.
For sure.
And the White Sox have very little of it.
Yeah, but again, what they're trying to do is make those gaps up with defense, and the Diamondbacks. We looked at the 100 lost teams. The Diamondbacks in 2021 lost 110, and they were at negative 13 outs above average. The Sox last year were at negative 17. Then in 2022 they went to 44 outs above average. In 2023, 32 outs above average, and they were able to win 74 games and 84. So I mean, if the Sox play above average defense and they got good defense at second base. They think they'll have good defense at shortstop, which you think if Yoan's healthy, they'll get good defense from Yoan Moncada. You'll obviously get good defense from Luis Robert Jr. Catcher should be all right with Stassi and Maldonado. I just don't know if, Vaughn, if Fletcher's going to be that great, or obviously our guy, Andrew Benintendi, is going to be able to pull his weight. So if they are able to make that gaps, I mean, I could see the floor being more like 70 wins and the ceiling being like 80. Again, they might not have the power to win those games, but they'll keep them tight.
But I'm also worrying about, you get Pedro starting the camp off saying we're going to be more aggressive. We're going to be producing more speed and playing smart like that. They don't have the personnel to do that. Nicky can steal a bag. Paul DeJong can't. Neither can Yoan Moncada. Neither can Andrew Vaughn. Neither the catchers. Benintendi has, but not really recently. And Luis Robert can, but as we have discussed before, he gets hurt while stealing bases. So I would like to limit him from stealing bases unless he feels 100% and has both those gloves on to make sure his fingers and wrists are good. And I don't know with Dominic Fletcher. I think that is his thing, right? He's got medium speed, but he's a little scrappy guy, so he would want to play more first to third type of baseball.
His whole thing is being like Nate McLouth. Remember that?
I do remember Nate McLouth.
Diving for shit and
extra hustle.
Right. Yeah. I think
grinding for no reason.
That's who's the other? I was gonna call him a hard ass. Eric Burns.
Eric Burns.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's got a little bit of Eric Burns. Shout out to Kali Dub in the chat saying "Go Sox, love from Ireland. Can't wait to visit in April." We love everybody from the homeland. Hey.
I can't wait to visit Kali Dub in Ireland.
What, you going?
Eventually, we've been planning an Ireland trip forever, but
doesn't sound planned.
It's she's doing her schooling right now, and then we'll do eventually. Come on, Kali Dub. Eventually, we'll be doing the bar this summer. So after the bar's done and all that stuff, we'll be out in jolly old Ireland.
And just to answer Michael's question again, I'm drinking water. I don't. Am I
People
sounding
are
off today?
really concerned about you right now.
Just drinking water. Can you scroll up a little bit? AJ did have a comment about one of the things that I said, and just saying, what does Chris Getz have to say? And it's basically not what Getz is saying wrong. I'm fine with what Getz is saying. We're not looking at the projections. We're trying to go beyond projections. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying he is the general manager. He's trying to push this new direction for the Sox. Pedro's supposed to be his guy, and it does seem like Pedro's giving in a little bit more to the projections. Does that matter when you are in a clubhouse day to day? I don't know if it's the wrong thing to look at projections. I don't know if it's the right thing in projections. I know said, cut their internet off. It was a little bit of a joke there. I don't really think that at the end of the day, they're actually going to put it up on the wall and, look at it each and every day and say, we have 0% chance to make the playoffs. Maybe if they're feeling good in April and May and that they're up a little bit, if they're ever 10 games above 500, then, hey, we'll scoff and be the puffy chest White Sox. Yeah. But overall, I just think that is it concerning that Chris Getz is saying we're not worried about projections and Pedro Grifol is saying I'm not looking at it, but we're putting it on the wall and I'm hearing some of the chatter in the clubhouse, like Vinnie wrote today at allchgo.com.
I think it's all right for them to have different opinions because I don't think they're opposed to each other. I think that players get motivated because those guys know that they're better than the numbers they produced last year. And so if the people who are doing the computers, they think Percotas are just some nerds man, the White Sox are sucking this year. They are terrible. And if they need that to get motivated to be better players, whatever it takes, I'm for it. Now, I don't know how much grown men are into rah-rah, especially grown baseball players.
You could DM Nicky Lopez and ask him.
I could. But if you need everything. As I said before, the Cleveland Indians / Guardians used it to a 2022 AL Central championship. Now, they were good. They had good players on the roster, unlike the White Sox, who have players that are kind of good.
But like, again, like, what
Can
they
I
had
say
J-Ram is like a for sure great player. Who else was great on that Cleveland team?
The up the middle combination was pretty damn good. Jimenez was really good, and Amed Rosario was really good.
Jimenez was just cheeks the next year.
Oh yeah, he was.
So
cheeks
like,
the next
I'm just
year.
saying, like,
But
I mean,
used it.
they got a good year. Like, if everyone has a good year, like, are the White Sox that much worse than the 2022 Guardians?
Yes, they don't have a Shane Bieber /
They got Dylan Cease. We've seen Dylan Cease be second in Cy Young.
We have seen that, but I think Shane Bieber at that time was at a different level. We don't have a Marinho Clase. We don't have a
We have
Stephen.
Brian Shaw.
Stop it. We don't have an Eric Steffen at the back end of the thing. We don't have a James Karinchak. Like, they had people back there. And, of course, if I mention the Guardians and talking opposed to the White Sox, you got to talk about Josh Naylor, that jerk. Always had a great year versus the White Sox. I think the White Sox pretty much set his career off to where it is right now, where he's got that 8 RBI game versus the White Sox, almost single-handedly won that game here at Guaranteed Rate in 2022. And then every time he saw the White Sox, it was personal.
Imagine if Andrew Vaughn starts shit-talking like Josh Naylor. Hey. I'm all for it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't hurt to try to do something like that because he knows that every little bit helps in a 162 grind. And if you need to know your purpose, you look back up the board, say 0.0, and it just gets in people's minds. And I know that it's kind of hokey with the Ted DeLasso type of believe stuff, but, try something different. They didn't do this last year, and they were 61-101. Try the believe thing. Try the 0.0 and just put it on the board. Every time you walk past, you hit it.
I guess. I mean, it seemed like they tried to have swagger last year with, the whole we're going to go out every night and try to kick your ass, and just fell flat on their face. I don't know. Let's take a break. Vinny's going to be joining us soon. He's getting set up. Want to let you know about our friends over at Ray Chevrolet. Ray Chevrolet is sharing their best offers all month long with their auto show sales event. Make your way to Ray Chevrolet on Route 12 in Fox Lake to join in on the savings. As one of the top selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Plus, you can find the perfect tailgating vehicle at Ray Chevy because they are offering 0% financing for 72 months on new Silverados with over 100 available. I think Melissa brought up that there's going to be a CHGO tailgate when Andrew Benintendi hits his 7th homer. So we'll call our friends over at Ray Chevrolet, get some of those tailgating vehicles, show them off, bada bing. We'll have some Charlie the Bacon guy. And to top it all off, they're pricing over 125 vehicles under $20,000. Seriously, pricing cannot get more affordable. So go check out our friends at Ray Chevrolet. And everyone loves the word free. What's more affordable than free, Herb? That's why this month you'll get at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake a free oil change. All you have to do is mention CHGO when you schedule your oil change to start off the new year right, and schedule it by February 29th. They're giving you an extra day this year, so take advantage of that free oil change over at Ray Chevrolet. Visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Also want to let you know about our friends over at Circa Sportsbook. I don't think there's any Chicago sports to bet on tonight. No. Blackhawks are off. That's why Nick Foligno's in the crib.
Bulls are off until Thursday.
Right there on the All-Star break.
White Sox and Cubs are not playing until Friday.
Hey, you can go place a future right now with our friends over at Circa Sportsbook. They have tight money line splits. Games will strive to be a -110 split on the Circa Sports menu, unlike other sportsbooks, which may use -115 or -120 split. Circa keeps as little money as possible on large market bets like futures and golf tournaments, especially compared to other books. You do have some golf to bet on. I've actually kind of enjoyed betting on golf lately. So, hey, if you are interested in betting, maybe check out the golf tournaments that are coming up this weekend. But Circa does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. And there are real people behind the Circa brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chatbots. So today, download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app. That's circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Text GMB to 833-234, or visit areyourreallywinning.com. I heard the jingle and the chime. That means that Vinnie Duber, our CHGO White Sox beat writer, is about to join us from Arizona. But before we wrap up the advertisements portion, today I got lunch fed to me by Charlie the Bacon guy. Mm-hmm. Herb had some too. Sarah had some too. The jalapeno garlic.
I had 3, or no, 2.5 pieces of bacon, technically.
I also had 2.5 pieces of bacon. The jalapeno garlic, though, I had the Malort one, and then
doesn't taste like Malort at all.
No, it doesn't.
It tastes delicious.
And I had the Nashville hot one. Charlie's based out of Woodridge. He makes craft bacon and bacon jams in over 35 different flavors, and he is dead on when they don't have those preservatives and all the additives like store bacon does. It is just so fresh. It's so tender. It's incredible. And the flavors deliver. The Nashville hot delivered. The Malort delivered. The
jalapeno bacon.
The jalapeno cheddar. Garlic one. That one delivered. So go check out our friend over at Charlie the Bacon Guy, charliethebacon.com, at Charlie the Bacon Guy on Instagram, at CZ the Bacon Guy on Twitter, and at Charlie the Bacon Guy at gmail.com. He'll even ship it to you. He'll deliver it to you.
Deliver it to me today. I got my bacon in the freezer right now. Going to take it home after this.
What'd you order?
I ordered some raspberry.
The Chipotle raspberry?
Yeah, and some chili lime and Maui Wowie.
Nice. Well, yeah, he was saying that's like one of the weirder ones.
Yeah.
He said that it's not wheat. People think that it's because it's a strain. But no, it's just,
delicious bacon.
And
some bacon jam too.
It's spicy. He brought all the... what's it called? The mix-ins, all the spices
and
that
the
he
rubs.
mixes up with it. Yeah, insane. All right, my cousin Vinny is ready, our CHGO White Sox beat writer. I guess we're doing movie references today with all the Animal House stuff. You could read him at allchgo.com, and he wrote about the 0.0% chance that the White Sox have. How are you, Vinny? We don't have to jump right into your work. It seems like it's been a busy day.
Yeah, I mean, not quite as busy as yesterday, but we're still running around today. And as you can tell, my hair is atrocious. It's a bad hair day out here in Arizona. So what folks are going to want to watch for is the interview that I did with Max Stassi today, which will be playing once I get back. I mean, it's out of control. My hair is blowing all over the place. It's horrible. I'm sitting there trying to talk to the guy, and I'm like, my hair looks bad. My hair looks bad.
At least the mustache still looks good.
As always.
Yes, well, thank you. That's usually unaffected by wind. Also, don't have to put any product in that, but the product that I did have in the hair has melted away, and it's just a disaster.
We're gonna blame it on the headphones.
There you go.
It still looks good right here.
Yeah, I mean, you're fine. It looks good. Anyways, let's jump into your article today. We did play Andrew Benintendi, and he said, even though I might harass him on this show every single day about those numbers, he said it doesn't matter as long as the Sox are winning. Does that seem to be the vibe from the hitters and pitchers and catchers that, we're just looking to win and maybe, I know that, as you wrote today, prove people wrong?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of standard issue stuff that you hear from athletes most of the time. They do, at least at the very bare minimum, voice their desire to have the team win above all else. And I don't think we can go back and look at past teams and say that they said anything different. But certainly the vibe around camp is, go out and win. So we're going to see if that's possible. This team is still this team, obviously, but their vibe and their mission, as I kind of wrote about earlier today, is to make those computers eat their words. So we're gonna see if it's, like I said, we're gonna see if it's possible. But that they're using it as bulletin board material has been notable here in the first week or so.
Vinny, saw you take a couple pictures of BP. I saw Colson Montgomery going against Michael Kopech and is it Yohan Moncada versus Alex Spees. What were the results of these battles? I saw some of the footage you sent in, but I don't know if that was the complete footage of the Colson Montgomery Michael Kopech battle that they were having out there.
Yeah, so Michael Kopech goes out for live batting practice, and I think I videoed all of the first 4 at bats. And then the fourth one is Colson Montgomery. Fourth or fifth one's Colson Montgomery. And I'm like, oh, people are going to want to see this. Michael Kopech versus Colson Montgomery. I video it. It was maybe 5 pitches. I think Colson struck out looking. There's no umpire, but, whoever was catching was calling balls and strikes. Strikes out looking. Okay, fine, whatever. People will want to see it. So I start to tweet it. And as soon as I put my head down to look at the thing, I look back up to see the next pitch, and Brian Ramos takes Michael Kopech deep, kind of inside outs a pitch over the right field wall for an opposite field home run. Probably the most, impressive thing that we saw all day today. And of course, I was busy doing something else. So I'm sorry I could not provide that footage for the folks. But if I had to say what was the highlight of, I think Pedro said that they had 17 different live batting practice sessions today. I remember, Well, we walked into the clubhouse today, and they've got it on a sheet who's all going to pitch. And I'm like, this is a lot of guys. This could go late today, kind of thing, just because they got to constantly churn. I think they had 4 fields going with batting practice, so they had their pitchers going out and doing a lot of work today. Obviously, the hitters were in there as well. Yoan Moncada, banged one off the wall against Alex Spies. I don't know how many, folks consider that impressive, or that's what he's supposed to do, or whatever. But there was the other extra base hit there too. I think Zach Remillard knocked a ball off the wall against Kopech at one point too. So there you go.
What did you tell
Zach Remillard?
Oh, well,
my guy.
Yeah, your guy.
The movie continues.
Make the Hallmark movie. Sorry, I was getting distracted. I was looking at the Yoan thing, trying to determine if he hit a double off of an Alex Spies fastball. Because if he's tuning up 95 from Alex Spies hitting a double the opposite way, I'm fine. Let's go, Yoan Moncada. That sounds like a bounce back to me. You talked about the young kids with Colson and Brian Ramos. Has there been any true talk about what their futures have looked like, what their 2024s might look like yet, or is it just too early? They arrived yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously the White Sox have a plan. I'm sure that somewhere in a back room somewhere that says up on a whiteboard where they're going to be starting the season and where they expect them to go. But whether it's Chris Getz talking about this being just the very early stages of camp, and these guys, they're not going to put too much pressure on them, that kind of thing. Or Pedro Grifol basically eschewing all roster-related questions at the moment. And, I think I asked him moments ago, about part of, something that had to do with lineup construction. And I had to make sure that I said, now I'm just talking philosophy. I don't need you to make a lineup for tomorrow, because I'm sure it's way too early for that. But, he basically every time he's asked about what this roster is going to look like, or what the, team might look like in game, he's basically saying it's way too early. So I can't imagine it would be anything but, a couple of weeks before he starts talking about that stuff a little bit more openly.
One thing about spring that kind of missed me every year, and I know the White Sox have their injury problem, so I know why they do it, but I don't feel like they get enough reps or enough, especially the batters, get enough hits in there in the cages. It seems like kind of they're doing practice where they're supposed to be, tuning up and getting those major league swings that they're trying to do. As Pedro spoke about, trying to get these guys in more of a playing shape, because it seems like all these White Sox teams come out of the gate and it just sputters. So I don't know if that's a correlation, but I know also if one of these players got hurt, I'm be on this mic what are we doing this on Aloy got hurt in the spring training game? Why are we doing this in the games that don't count type of thing? So my complaint is just I want players to play more like they're playing in games to get ready for the games, because, as you know, you play how you practice.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Pedro was talking to us about this, early last week when everybody showed up, kind of the idea that spring training used to be a thing where you'd come to spring training to do what you just said, right? Get into game shape and kind of work your way up to that and be ready by opening day. Whereas now the competition is so high and there's so much expected of these players that they kind of have to show up ready to do that already. And so when you hear a compliment from Pedro or any other manager across baseball, like Pedro said last week, hey, some of these guys could go out and play today kind of thing. Yeah, it might be a little bit like, painting a nice picture, but also that's kind of what the expectation is maybe for them to show up in really good shape, for them to show up ready to go. I mean, obviously we're not going to see starting pitchers in the first few Cactus League games. I have no idea if we're going to see the Major League everyday guys, populate that lineup on a regular basis as soon as this weekend. But it does seem like these guys are a lot more ready to go than you might think. And that's not me talking up the White Sox so much as it is just talking up baseball players in general. You talk about a White Sox team that over the years maybe has had more bad Aprils than good ones. That probably has a lot of teams. There's probably a lot of fan bases that feel that way too, particularly teams who haven't won that much, regardless of what month it is, right?
Yeah. Herb and I talked a little bit before you joined about your article, the 0.0% projections. We talked that, hey, if they are possibly hanging this up on the wall and they're 10 games above 500 in May, maybe we see some celebration, maybe we see some puffy chestness. We brought up the idea that maybe Andrew Vaughn mimics Josh Naylor's swag. Wouldn't that be something? I don't know if you're getting that sense or if it's just, again, too early to tell. But let's go to something that happened today in the MLB world that I want to get your thoughts on, because Herb has said before that Amed Rosario was better than Tim Anderson.
It was that year.
Okay. All right. Amed Rosario signs today with the Tampa Bay Rays for 1 year, $1.5 million. Herb, when you hear that number and you hear that Paul DeJong signed for $1.75 million, did the White Sox get their guy? Did the White Sox miss out on possibly a better player like Amed Rosario? Did they have something specific in Paul DeJong with the defense to have him play? Because you would probably contend that Rosario is a better player and just got paid less.
I would definitely contend that he's a better player, but then that would be the White Sox waiting until this period of time to sign that player, which would have been unacceptable and would have had a lot of rumors of maybe Tim coming back, which I think the clean break of Tim and the White Sox is a good thing for all parties involved. So, yeah, I'm not jazzed about Paul DeJong being the everyday shortstop for the White Sox, but then when you look at the number that Rosario signs for, you're like, this is about the same number, but I think we would have been bitching and moaning about the White Sox coming to camp with Nicky Lopez and I don't know who's going to be play at second. It's a much better situation they have now with DeJong and Nicky Lopez up the middle. Yeah, I think Rosario is that 2 a.m. thing where that scenario I usually bring up where he's like, it's spring training, camp has already started, no one signed me yet. The Rays got a nice offer for me. Might as well just rebuild my free agency market with 1 year at the Rays. And if we know anything about the Rays, they'll definitely get your market right, and then you can go somewhere else because they ain't going to pay you.
Listen, I think I've brought this up in the past. Just because fans want somebody on a team doesn't mean that the team wants somebody on the team, right? Just because, there's a guy out there who is good doesn't mean he's the exact fit that 30 teams are looking for. It's not necessarily this objective, let's put this, we are trying to sign this data set, and that's what we want. Obviously, as we've heard all spring long so far, the White Sox were very, very intent. To use a Chris Getz word, I think intentional with the guys that they signed. They wanted to bring in guys that fit a certain profile, that had a certain kind of experience, that had a certain kind of personality, and that played the game a certain kind of way. I'm not trying to say anything negative about Rosario, but I'm trying to say that the White Sox saw the positives in all the guys that they brought in and brought them in for a reason. Now, also, they signed Paul DeJong a long time ago. And perhaps Rosario maybe he was on their board, but maybe he cost a lot more at that time and they didn't want to go down that road. It just took the market playing out the way it did to make him sign for that dollar amount. But at the end of the day, I think the White Sox are very happy with the players that they got for the reasons that they have, more so than the reasons that you guys or anybody else watching might have outside of the organization.
And seeing what Rosario signed for, I guarantee Tim will have to look at that number and say, that's where I'm at.
Well, people who have been looking at Justin Fields and who he's following on Instagram notice that he unfollowed the Bears. Still is following the White Sox, so shout out. Hey, maybe he can play second base. Maybe he can play shortstop. Anyways, Tim Anderson kind of cleared the Instagram feed, has the Thank You Southside post up, has one other post up, but posted is getting on a jet, packing some bags.
All right, here we go.
Where's TA going? Hey, we did see former White Sox Liam Hendriks sign with the Boston Red Sox. I thought this was kind of a surprising ending spot for him. I thought it would have been maybe more of a clear contender. Boston, they might be good next year, but I don't know about that. There's also been talks of them trading Kenley Jansen and possibly moving on from Kenley. I didn't think they'd be in the reliever market. Are you surprised that Liam ended up going there? Was any surprise from the contract that he ended up getting?
It was very reasonable contract, like $2 million this year, where he more than likely won't pitch, and then $6 million next year and an option for 2026. It's a good deal. It was kind of the deals that we were discussing. I know that the White Sox had the option to sign him for $14-15 million for this year, and we were all for it because of the person and the player that Liam Hendriks is for. So Boston got a absolute steal, having Liam Hendriks in that clubhouse for a full year of not playing for the most part. And then him going back out there, in 25, he's going to go out there and be Liam Hendriks again, because I have no doubt that the man is just a above and beyond best player, and he achieves at a higher level than most. So for getting him for a $6 million deal in 2025, it was a smart deal by Boston, and the option to have him in 2026, because that is a person you want in your clubhouse. I wish the White Sox would have kept him, but I understand $14-15 million for a guy that wasn't going to pitch is a little too much to ask for. But I think if you're going to make an exception, that would be the player. So Boston got a steal there.
I don't know if we're planning on launching a BSTN, but if we are, I'd gladly do some freelance work. They got Liam and Lucas in that clubhouse. Come on, those guys. We're missing those interviews here this spring for sure.
Well, hey, Chris Cotillo from MassLive.com said posted asking Boston Red Sox teammates, what would you say that Liam Hendriks brings to a group? Quote, a lot of annoying sayings. Like what? Quote, I'm not here to fuck spiders. Meaning, it's an Australian colloquialism that it's like, are you here to play baseball? Well, I'm not here to have sex with spiders. So,
see what I mean? See what I mean? I'll gladly cover some Red Sox games if that's what we're going to be getting.
Sounds good. So, hey, he's very creative, and the deal is $2 million in 2024, no incentives in 2024, $6 million salary in 2025. There's incentives of $10 million in 2025, and then there's a mutual option for $12 million or a buyout of $2 million for 2026. Miguel in the chat saying, "Hey Sean, who convinced you to do a show about a team you dislike so much?" I just dislike certain players. I'm so excited for Brian Shaw. I'm so excited for Michael Kopech. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm excited for in the next 3 days. Of course, Luis Robert, but I mean, hey. I'm more excited to see regular season Luis Robert than spring training Luis Robert. How much can we actually pull away from him?
And there's no one who's a bigger fan than Brian Bannister, than this man right here.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm excited about for the 2024 White Sox, but also what we know about the White Sox. I'm not looking at it in just, today on February 20th. This was a team that in 2024 should have been contending. And they're not. This is just not what we were promised, not what we thought this team would be. And there's a lot of frustration. And I mean, I'm just trying to vent that. So maybe. Anyways, any final thoughts from camp, or would you like to wrap it up here? I think we've gotten through all of our topics.
Yeah, I just I'm sure you guys talked about Andrew Benintendi. I know he was the top of the show today. Just a follow up though, he obviously told us that he got bigger and got stronger. And I checked with Pedro Grifol afterwards. I said, "Does Benintendi look bigger?" And he said, "Yes, he looks bigger." So apparently those who know him the best are also seeing some strength added this winter.
Have you seen the pop in batting practice? Is it just Colson Montgomery and Brian Ramos? Has Benny, blasted some bombs yet?
I didn't see many Benintendi swings. I think I saw him take a walk against Alex Spees.
Look at my man.
But he was going up. I think he might have hit a fly ball against Jonathan Cannon, which I'm not trying to say like, oh boy, everybody read into this. Andrew Benintendi hit what probably would have been a fly out to left field, but it went decently far, I guess.
Okay, all right, decently far. And taking a walk off of Alex Spees, who had a walk rate of is it walk rate? I can at least find his walk per nine. Alex Spees walk per nine, 22.5 in the major leagues last year. Yeah,
that's too many.
So I think Benny's can show that he can walk against Alex Spees. So that's good. I think my biggest takeaway is that Alex Spees kind of got lit up today. Yohan Moncada doubling to left field and giving an Andrew Benintendi walk. It's just warming up. We're not there yet. It's not full to go. Anyways, we'll have more tomorrow at 5 p.m. We'll return to that 5 p.m. slot for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So make sure you join us. We have over 50 people watching, so make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're supporting Vinny's writing over at allchgo.com. Again, he's got a piece today about those pesky projections and all the mean things that they're saying about the White Sox and how the Sox plan to prove that wrong. There's also some diehard pieces as well. If you want to become a diehard, head over to allchgo.com. There's White Sox Weekly that was posted just yesterday. So if you are looking to check out that extra content for diehards, join into our chat, get a free t-shirt, go head over to allchgo.com and become a diehard. I also shared with our diehards in order from 1 to 70 my excitement for each and every single player. Do you guys want to guess who's number one?
Andrew Benintendi.
No,
Luis
I gave his ranking out.
Robert Jr.
No, not Luis. I already told you that he's 69.
Colson Montgomery.
No, I mean, come on. It's Dylan Cease. I mean, if he goes out and shows that slider in one start over 3 innings, Baltimore's not going to be a little bit more enticed. Like, oh, Brian Bannister's fixed him. Hey, here we go. Let's back up the Brinks trucks of prospects and go get Dylan Cease. I don't know. This guy is all the things to prove in the world. I mean, he's been speaking of so highly of this year. It seems like a big year for Cecil. Let's go see what it can do.
I think Baltimore's activity will depend on the Yankees and Snell. That comes together, Baltimore will make the move.
Interesting. We'll see what happens. That's Vinnie Duber, our CHGO White Sox beat writer. Go follow him at Vinnie Duber. Maybe even ask him where to send hair products so that he can, rejudge. But go follow him at Vinnie Duber. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at HectorWall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. Thank you to Sarah for producing the show.
You're welcome.
That was quick. You're welcome.
Hit that subscribe button, and we will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.